Hello and welcome to Women in
Broadcasting. Today is our first broadcast and we have a fabulous show for you all.
Yes, the whole show is planned, presented and operated by women. But coming up, Sky News presenter Sarah Jane Mee told us about how she's seen a gradual shift in the number of women working in the newsroom.
I don't think I noticed a change like that. It was a very gradual change and it didn't feel forced. I think there was a mindset of we have to change it, we have to have more women.
We spoke to BBC Look North presenter Abby Dewhurst about how the industry is changing.
I'm very lucky that I've got into the industry at a time where lots of things are changing. There's still a lot of change that needs to happen, but it feels like there is a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel.
And we'll be speaking to Salford graduate Annie Mae Walker about her experiences.
But first, Meg, do you think the equality of women is stretched to all aspects of news programming?
I think it should be, more than it is now. I think women need that platform on the camera and off camera.
Absolutely. Well, one woman is proving this wrong. Abby Dewhurst has 63.2 thousand followers on Instagram and on TikTok and 16.3 thousand on Instagram.
Our reporter Liz Theaker went to speak to Abby about her job and how she's seen the industry change.
So the job came up for a weather presenter actually in a different region, and I'd always fancied my hand at it, so I put my application in for that and I didn't get the job, but I did go for the interview, and I think that gave me a lot of confidence going forward because the interview went quite well. I really enjoyed the presenting in front of a green screen and stuff. So then when this job came up, went for this job and got that job.
Good morning. Bit of mist and fog out there again first thing this morning. In some places, particularly across Lincolnshire, could stay stuck under...
You don't want somebody to overcomplicate. Ultimately, people need to know, are they going to need the big coat and can they hand the washing on the line? They don't need to know the nitty-gritty science. So it's important that as a presenter you work really closely with the meteorologists and that you know your stuff, but you don't need to know absolutely everything. You just need to be able to take that complicated information and kind of make it simple, which is ultimately what I do.
I'd like to be a woman in broadcasting.
It's very empowering, to be honest. I think I'm very lucky that I've got into the industry at a time where lots of things are changing. There's still a lot of change that needs to happen, but it feels like there is a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, and it feels like there's a lot of people on our team at the moment. And naturally, because of the legacy of the industry and the legacy of a lot of industries, sometimes it does feel like a bit of an uphill struggle and battle, but it probably makes the sweet spots a little bit sweeter for when they happen. I'm very fortunate in that the newsroom that I work in, some days you look around and you realise that the women are outnumbering the men, or that it's an all-women team. That isn't the case everywhere, and sometimes it can be quite daunting and overwhelming. I did used to work for Motors TV, which was a very different situation. I was literally the only girl, which at times can be quite daunting, but I think I kind of thrive in that situation. But it shouldn't have to be that way, should it? You should just be able to walk into a room and feel like you're represented in every way, shape and form, and we're getting there, but it's still a bit of a work in progress.
So, aside from all that, what is your favourite thing about your job?
I think my favourite thing about my job is that at the end of the day, I go home and I feel like I might have made somebody smile, or given somebody a bit of light relief, or given somebody a bit of entertainment, and that's not the case for everybody. I did do a job before all of this where I felt like I was ruining people's lives. I was making people bankrupt, and I hated it, and I hated myself when I was doing that. Whereas, I like to entertain and make people laugh and inform and educate, and I feel every single day like I do that and like I fulfil that, and that is very rewarding for me.
It was great to hear from Abby about what it means to her to be a woman in broadcasting, but what does it mean to you, Meg?
To be a woman in broadcasting, you're able to support women not only in the broadcasting industry but outside of that, and talking about women's issues where they're not spoken about enough.
Absolutely.
What about you, Faye?
Yeah, I agree, and also you're able to do more roles that usually would be more male dominated, like tech and operate cameras, and all of that is,
Yeah, we asked some of our fellow journalists what it means to them about being a woman in broadcasting.
Being a woman in broadcasting means I get to work on a range of issues that actually matter to me. Being a woman in journalism in 2023 shows just how much the world is changing for the better. We now have a platform to express ourselves and tell the unheard stories from across the world.
I'm proud to be a woman in broadcasting because I'm a working mum, and it's great to be able to show my little one that I can do working in radio and be a mum for him. Also, I work on a show where we hit our diversity targets, and I'm really proud to be able to showcase real women.
I love being a woman in broadcasting because I get to see how it all works, all the TV magic and radio magic behind the scenes.
To be a woman in broadcast is empowering as it provides us all with a voice. I am proud to be part of the female broadcast community, working alongside influential women.
Generally, local radio is quite a male-dominated industry and has been for quite a long time. So for me, coming in as a young woman, I feel proud to sort of stand up for myself and also tell stories which empower young women.
Being a woman in broadcasting in 2023 means that I get to use loads of equipment and cameras and get involved in the more technical side of things.
Being a woman in journalism is important to me because I enjoy telling stories and feel lucky to have access to endless opportunities in an ever-changing industry.
What it means to me to be a woman in broadcasting is actually quite a privilege, because it wasn't that long ago where women couldn't even vote in this country. So for me to be able to use my voice and be on the telly or be on the radio and use my journalistic powers to get other people's stories across.
And I also feel really proud to work with some amazing women here who not only present but produce and work in sport as well, which is really amazing.
Being a woman in journalism is really fun because I feel like a lot of other industries there are like difficulties for women, but I feel like there's multiple opportunities for me to progress in the journalism world. So I'm really excited.
I'm very proud to be a woman in broadcasting because we get to speak to lots of women with different stories and spread awareness about topics that we are impacted by.
As a female student learning broadcast journalism, I'm excited to go into the industry of broadcast journalism, and I feel like as a woman there is many opportunities for me to get involved in.
To me, being a woman in broadcasting means showing the world that just because I'm a young person and a woman, I am still equal to other people you might see in broadcasting, and I have just as much a right to get my voice heard and be in this industry.
It means it's the best job in the world. What I love is meeting people. The sense that the people coming behind me are so diverse. When I got into broadcasting 15, 20 years ago, I think in front of the camera there were plenty of women, in front of the microphone there were plenty of women, not so many behind, making it all work, making it all amazing, making it all creative. That's the thing that's really changed, I think, that technically, creatively, whether you're in front of the camera, behind the camera, the diversity is fantastic. It's shown by the programme that's being made today, made by a diverse crew, made by diverse people, talented, all of them in every respect. So I think from a broadcasting perspective, it's the best job in the world. From a woman, it's great that every time I go out on a job, or I'm in the studio, or I'm recording or interviewing, I've got women and a diverse crew all around me. So I think it's changing, not quickly enough. We still need more change. We need diversity to be much broader, but I think women are smashing it.
And now we are joined in the studio with Salford graduate and broadcast journalist and freelancer at Global, Annie Mae Walker.
So hi Annie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, of course.
What does it mean for you to be a woman in broadcasting?
I think it's kind of always felt like a pipe dream when I was younger, trying to think, it's always something I've wanted to do, but I kind of never thought I had the tools or the opportunity to do that, and to be able to kind of live the dream it's really nice.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. Could you talk us through what a typical day-to-day life as a broadcast journalist looks like for you?
Yeah, of course. So I kind of start off my day with scouring through all the social media, trying to find people to talk to, depending whatever news is happening that day. When I do find a story, when I do find people to talk to, I'm out on the streets. They love to get us out and about and talking to people in the community. And then once I've gone out, I do my interviews, I run back to the office, hop on my computer, edit everything up, script things for either to send to London or to put on the bulletins for what the newsreaders will read out, and it's always a really nice feeling when they use your stuff because you think that's a job well done.
That's quite intense, actually.
Yeah.
Do you face any challenges?
There's always challenges. You know, if it was an easy job, everybody would do it, and I kind of like to welcome it. I'm always learning. I never go into a day expecting to be able to do absolutely everything. You know, you need help. This is an industry where you need to lean on each other and you need to work to each other's skills and assets, because, you know, I am very newly qualified. I am brand new on the scene, and it's hard, and there are things that I'm not as good at as the others, and that's okay. I think I need to remember that myself. It's so okay to not be amazing yet. I'm learning and I'm getting there, and it's, yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for coming. Also, do you think there needs to be much more done in the future to get more women involved?
Do you know what? That's such a good question, because I am very lucky to work in a team where most of the time there's more women there than there are men, and it feels very affirming. It feels like I am supposed to be there. I feel included, and there's always more that needs to be done, right? I think we all know that, but we are definitely moving in the right direction.
Do you have any advice, like last minute advice, to people who are looking to get into the industry after uni, or people who want to go into it? What would you say they should be doing?
First impressions are everything. Be friendly, make the brews, ask if they need anything doing, because they probably do. We're very busy people. Yeah. Just be nice. Be approachable. When people are looking to hire, they're looking to employ people who they feel will fit in the team. Nobody wants somebody mean or somebody uncooperative to be on that team. So that is definitely my biggest piece of advice.
That is great. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you.
As we've learned, work experience is a crucial part of being a student journalist, as Ellie Richards has been finding out at Hits Radio in Manchester.
Right, so now I'm going to try and record some bulletins and just practice. I'm the type of person who, if I didn't script things by myself, or in the way, where can I sit you? Or in, let's not touch the fire alarm, Ellie. Or in the way that I would read them, then it's hard for me to do them, because I have a very specific way I write things. Because with my ADHD, I've got to write it in a really clear conversational way so I can get it out, and these are written by other people, obviously in their style, so we will see. This one is the microphone, and as I turn that up I can hear myself on the mic, which is gross. And then this one here is for all the audio clips that play throughout the bulletin, so anything that kind of looks like that. So you press play, and this controls the levels for that one. That's the latest. I'm Ellie Richards, and this is Hits Radio Manchester.
My favourite thing to do.
Wave!
Oh, hi.
Morning everyone, I'm with Hits Radio Manchester today. I'll be doing some vox pops for them this morning. Here's the little mic, it's kind of cool, makes you feel very official. I'm going out today to do some vox pops about the energy crisis and how there's going to be possible blackouts this winter, and to combat that the government has decided to ask people to cut their energy usage between, I think it's 3 and 6 p.m. or something, and then they're going to compensate them for that. So I am going to see how people feel about that, if that's something they'd be interested in doing, if they think it's going to be really effective. So yeah, well, it's a really nice day out, very pretty, and I just feel super cool getting to hold this. Other placements I've done, they've just told me to go out with my phone, and I feel a little bit not as professional and I know what I'm doing, but with this I feel really cool, so it should be fun. Hello, 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 testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3.
Now, many years ago, journalism was a male-dominated environment, but in recent years, it has become a lot more equal.
Yes, and in recent times, there have been even more women wanting to work in the broadcasting industry.
Our reporter Abby Titmus spoke to journalist Annie Mae Walker about how she's seen a gradual shift in the amount of women working in newsrooms.
It's 2 o'clock. This is the Sarah Jane Mee Show, coming up this afternoon.
For me to be a woman in broadcasting, I'm very proud, and I think, like I said, I think women can bring a different angle to how you analyse stories, how you interview people, and I'm very proud to be a big part of that, particularly at Sky News.
Starting off in sport, did you notice sort of a bit of inequality for women? Was there sort of less females on the team than men?
I think I was probably the first generation to sort of benefit from women that had gone before me. So when I arrived on the scene, you know, there were the likes of Hazel Irvine, Gabby Logan, Kirsty Gallagher, Kelly Dalglish, all these women that had appeared on screen for a long time, Jill Douglas as well, who I used to, well, I say I used to work with her, I always say that, it sounds a bit grander than it was. I was lucky enough to be a junior when she was at Sky, and then she went on to the BBC. So there were all these women that had done the hard work, that had paved the way, that had really sort of put a flag in the ground to say women are here and are just as good as men, because, you know, we know historically sport was male dominated, but I was lucky to benefit from their hard work. And I think I came into an environment that was changing, and women were more readily accepted, but you still had to prove yourself that little bit more than the men and the boys. So for instance, you know, if ever I told somebody that I was working at Sky Sports, the first question they would ask, man or woman actually, was, do you really like sport? And you know, that was a hurdle that you had to overcome. But now I don't hear that as much anymore, because, you know, in my time, over the last 15 years, it's changed so much, and there's equality in terms of numbers, men and women on screen, I think, in sport, and behind the scenes as well, which is really important, because if it's not happening behind the scenes, you're not going to see it translate on screen. I think as women, we need to back ourselves, and, you know, I'm proud to work in an organisation where women champion women, and, you know, that's another myth, isn't it, that women are all pitted against each other in broadcasting, and it's a big competition. You know, we look after each other because we know the struggles and the obstacles we've taken to get there. One of the best bits of advice is, if you really want something, say yes and then catch up. Then, you know, do the cramming, do the work to get yourself ready. You know, a quick yes is sometimes a good thing, because it pushes you out of your comfort zone as well, which is what it's all about. How are you ever going to develop and move your career on if you don't test yourself? You know, and I've been in so many situations where I thought, oh gosh, don't know if I'm quite up to this. But if you do the work, you are, and you've just got to back yourself. If you work hard and you know that you want it, you know, you can absolutely do it.
I'm so sorry for that. We obviously had Annie Mae on our minds. That was actually Sarah Jane Mee from Sky News. Well, next week we have a lot of things coming up. We are doing Women in Politics, which is exciting.
Yes, and then in the near future, we've got Women in Faith, Women in Social Media like yourself.
Yeah, Women in Tech.
Yeah, Women in Sport.
Oh my gosh, Women in Science. Women in everything. The list is absolutely endless.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And of course we have each show, Tech by Women. It's a women always show. No men allowed here. So why not check out the Quays TV YouTube and watch our Women in Broadcasting panel. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye.
Thank you. I'm so sorry.